Hey, fitting guy here. Today we're talking hose, and don't you want to know why? Hey, welcome back to the Fitting Guy. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about the application of hose ends to hose because we offer so many different kinds of hoses and numerous different kinds of options for hose ends. We're going to make it very simple and we're going to roll right through it. The first thing you need to understand about Phenix is the way we sell our hose. We buy in 100-foot rolls and we'll sell it to you in any length you want. If your project requires 3 feet of hose, I'll send you 3 feet of hose. If it requires 30, I'll send you 30 feet. You want a 100-foot roll, we'll send you that too. It's all effective pricing, but you only have to buy for what you need on your project. If you're stocking it, you're still getting a good price. The next thing that people ask me all the time is, how do you cut your hose? And there's a lot of different ways out there, and as soon as I address this, I'm probably going to start an argument with somebody, but we've tried a number of different ways, and I've seen some people will tape it up and use a hacksaw. Well, that seems like work to me. I don't like it because it produces a lot of shavings and dirt and dust on the inside of the hose. Obviously, you're going to clean your hoses before you install them because you're a good hose installer. But you know, it's just extra work. And anyway, so I don't like using that. For a while, I was using a cutoff wheel, and again, you got the problem of dust, and it really smells, especially in the wintertime when all the doors are closed. What I have found that works the best is from Klein Tools, and it's called a cable cutter. I think I've got one in my desk here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. These are from Klein Tools. I got this off of Amazon. I want to say it was about 135 bucks, something like that. These are good quality cable cutters. Do not go to Harbor Snap-on and buy the cheap ones. They don't work. All they're going to do is mangle your hose. But this thing will go through double braided stainless steel -20 hose like it's butter. So I highly recommend these things. Go ahead and spend the money. If it was up to me, I'd love to have one that was bench mounted where you could just put the hose on there and pull it down. But for now, this works pretty darn good and it makes a nice clean cut. All of our hoses are in numerical series. Our 100 series hose is our standard issue stainless steel braided hose. We're going to go over these one at a time, but we have 100, we have 200, we have 300, we have 400 and 4400 series hoses. So we're going to go through each one of those and their applications and which hose ends go to them. So stick with us. We're going to do this fairly quick. This is our 100 series hose. It goes from 104, which is -4, up to 120, which is our -20. And again, keep this in mind. We sell -20 by the foot. So that's expensive stuff, and you don't have to buy a 20-foot roll in order to get -20 hose. We will send you 3 feet if that's what your project requires. Anyway, in cutting it with the shears that I showed you, it makes a nice clean cut. You notice it doesn't balloon out, it doesn't trumpet out on you. It's a good, nice, tight weave, and it's double braided. In other words, there's the outer stainless steel braid, and there's the inner stainless steel braid. So you got an inner liner, stainless, outer liner, and then you have your stainless steel braid on the outside. This stuff is the toughest hose we've got. It's in a racing application, I wouldn't want to use anything else. In all racing applications, this is my hose of choice, especially on suction lines. It's not going to deform. It's very stiff. It will saw through anything it comes in contact with, so you got to make sure you isolate it. And we definitely have tools to do that too. So anyway, 100 series hose. All you do is add a number on the end of your dash number. If you want -16, it's a 116. So K116, K104, K106, 8, 12, 10, all of them, that's how you determine your size on our basic racing hose. On the 100 series hose, we have 2 types of hose ends that you can use. We have the traditional compression style hose ends, and these are excellent. This is our second redesign on these things, and they are double swivel, and all you do is put your compression nut over the end of the hose, put some oil in there, a little oil in here, a little oil in here, screw it all together, leave about 30 thousandths between this nut and here, match up the flat so it looks nice, and you're good to go. Now, as you're doing that, you're going to get little 032 holes in your hands from these steel braids, but the other option is our newest line of hose ends, which is the crimp-on style. And once you start using these things, you're not going to want to do these anymore. The trouble is, it's about a $3,000 investment between the crimp machine and the dies necessary. If you're interested in that, give us a call, contact us, and we'll tell you how to get started in it. If you're doing a lot of plumbing in your shop, I highly recommend these. Once again, these are double swivel. There aren't too many crimp-on double swivel hose ends out there on the market, but we go from -4 up to -16. Eventually we'll have -20, and they do swivel, so you can build your hose to length and then clock your hose after the fact, and it works very, very well. Now for our Series 200 hose. This is our black push lock hose that's used on our push lock hose ends. It is good up to 250 psi, and it goes from -4 all the way up to -12. All of our hose ends, just a little bit of lube and press it in on the end, and you've built yourself a hose. You can clock it a little bit after the fact and get it dialed in to just the way you like it. We also offer crimp bands for these, which some of the sanctioning bodies like to see that on there, but it's good quality Parker Hannifin hose. Check the catalog or the website for application for this kind of hose. Our K400 Series hose is intended for PTFE high pressure applications. They start at -3 and go to 4, 6, 8, and 10. And because of those various sizes, there's all kinds of applications. Obviously, the high pressure side of power steering comes to mind, the brake applications, whether it's -3 or -4. And we have more and more guys who are using it for fuel systems, and it would be bulletproof for that. Right now we offer hose ends in a variety of different styles, and they come in straights, 45s, and 90s. Eventually we're going to be adding some of the other things like 180s and 120s and so forth. So when you're choosing this hose, just keep in mind there are two different types of hose, and consult the catalog or the website for some guidance on this, because we do have some non-conductive PTFE hose end which is supposed to reduce static electricity inside the fluid. If you're running fuel, that might be something you want to know about. At any rate, we have, for this application, there are specialty PTFE hose ends. We have them in aluminum, and these come in the traditional red and blue and in black, and each one of these features the little brass olive on the inside. This one happens to be an aluminum olive, that's just as valid, and we sell the replacement olives, and you put them together by sliding this over your the end of your hose, fitting the olive, and then compressing the whole system together. These are double swivel, so you can clock your hose after the fact. So we have them in aluminum, we have them in zinc plated steel, we have them in what's called black steel, which is a very special coating. It's bulletproof, and if you want to have a steel fitting instead of aluminum in a high pressure application, but you like the black, this is the way to go. We also have forged low profile ends. This one happens to be stainless steel. We have them in ordinary zinc, but we also have them in stainless. And then lastly, for those of you who are going the crimp route, we do have crimp fittings for PTFE in straights, 45s, and 90s. We hope to expand that line soon. Now for our Series 400 hose. This is the black double braided nylon hose. Its construction is similar to our Series 100 hose, the racing hose. You've got an internal liner, you've got stainless steel braid, another liner, and then you have this external liner which is just nylon. It's not stainless steel. So this doesn't have quite the same pressure rating. And I, for one, would not use it in a suction application. If this was a scavenge line off a dry sump or something like that, I'd consider something different. I've got guys out there that are using it and they haven't had any problems. It's not what we recommend. Always check the catalog or the website for information about application, and if you're not finding what you're looking for, give me a call, or you can call the main number at Phoenix, and if you call in, there's a phone tree. Number 3 is the tech line. The guy who answers the phone is a trained engineer, and as a bonus, he speaks English. On the 400 series, just like the 100 series, there are two types of hose ends that work. Our standard issue compression style hose ends and our crimp line. Okay, the last hose that we're going to go over is our K400 series hose, and this is our top of the line E85 hose. It comes in -6, -8, and -10. Now as you can see, there's very little difference between this and our standard issue 400 series hose. You can't tell by looking at it We tag everything as it goes out, and we highly recommend that if you're going to store this stuff, you store it apart from any other black hose that you've got. We're talking about putting a tracer strand through the hose. We're not sure if we're going to do that or not, because a lot of people like the fact that it's just black. I don't think the tracer takes anything away from it, but it does call attention to the fact that it is a different kind of hose. And the difference is our standard 400 series hose, just like our 100 series hose, has the CPE inner liner. Don't ask me what CPE stands for. It's a chemical name that I can't pronounce, so I'm glad they have initials. This hose has a liner with a trade name that I can't mention, but it rhymes with futon or wonton or something like that. Starts with a V, I think. Anyway, you get the idea. It's tough stuff. You're not going to have any vapor permeation with this hose. Hey, thanks for watching this. I hope it was helpful. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to call the fitting guy or call the main number at Phoenix and use the phone tree for technical assistance. I believe it's number 3, and you'll get any question answered that you have. So we appreciate your business. Thanks for watching. Remember to comment down below. Remember to hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the Fitting Guy. Hey, today we're talking about your hose.